Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 o'clock Eastern. Of course, what would be the best thing to do on a Saturday? Well, most people go out drinking alcohol, doing other things than dividend stocks, not doing dividend stocks, maybe doing some other stuff, other naughty habits. And we got a good one tonight. Let's just say Santa came early this year and he gave us Uncle Cody, or Citizen of the Year, who will be joining us in just 15 minutes here. But Fiscal, what a fun week. We're matching today. I don't got much to say. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I there was I beat the S&P 500 on Thursday. I know.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that too.
My monthly results were quite good,
That
and we know how important those are. So,
but for the people watching back, Fiscal, where can the people find you?
In the description, always in the description.
Links are always in the description. We got a packed house tonight. We got Guff in here. We got Dividend Dude, Double D's. But tonight will be a good one. Only thing I got to plug, as you can see by my name tag here, I'm the CEO of Real Man's Investing. I have a feeling that this video could possibly resonate with some of the, a spade's a spade, some of the softer people of the investing community, YieldMax investors. And I'm looking to bring the fire tonight. So, CEO of Real Man's Investing, check out the merch. Good looking shirts.
You don't want to be soft.
You don't want to be soft. Real Man's Investing is, what we'll be discussing tonight.
It kind of reminds me of when the Road Warriors called out Ric Flair way back in the day. Honestly, if I had to compare it to anything. And they said it then. You don't want to, they have something and it's not soft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I came out with a video earlier this week and it was SCHD versus TSLY. And I felt like I had both communities coming at me. It was kind of weird.
You got both of them raging.
I had the YieldMax investors coming at me for just shitting on it. And then I had the SCHD investors for me saying that a little bit of clickbait, I'll be honest, but clickbait's what you need these days. It's a saturated market.
Was your conclusion simply that this SCHD is better than TSLY, essentially?
I made a bet long term that it like 10 years, there's no chance TSLY will outperform. And the TSLY investors are pulling crap out of their arses, let's just say, when it comes to performance, because they'll do the year to date instead of 1 year. And I looked at the stock price, and there was like a 2-week difference. It's like maybe 20% in the price, which completely fluffs the returns. So it's just ironic that
So you're saying they're a bunch of fluffers over there?
Yeah, they are a bunch of fluffers. They're a bunch of
I got them.
I'll stay PG for now, everybody. I'll just say PG for now.
Fair enough. So, what have you been up to this week?
The question is, what have I not been up to this week? I got a bunch of dividends. Well, you'll see on the weekly recap tomorrow. It'll be a good one when it comes to dividends. Will there be another MPW transaction from Fiscal? We don't know.
I mean, probably.
We have a good question here, and I wanted to actually cover it in the 15 minutes we have before Uncle Cody comes on here. Thoughts on a Hershey? This is a stock that has been actually talked about a lot recently. It has been following like Joseph Carlson's ego at times. Whenever target goes up, it's not good. It's been falling a bit here, and its financials are decent. It's at 180 right now,
down 30%, almost 30% in the last month.
I cannot find the reason. I can't find any specific reason for it going down like that kind of justifies it. Besides, the one thing I heard was coca prices, which it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, I hate to say it, but valuation. I mean, I think if you were to put the stock back up another, $75 to get it back to its old price, that's a pretty stretched valuation for, 128-year-old candy company. You know what I mean?
Yeah, its growth is actually really solid. It's better than what you think it would be, but you gotta have questions there where the growth in the future is going to come from. Dividend dude with some philanthropy type talk here. I have deeply pondering bong here.
It could. I mean, it could be that it's getting close to value territory. I mean, if you compare it to another staple like Coca-Cola or something like that, it's probably pretty cheap.
Would you think it's more of a growth opportunity, more of a growth play than Coke?
I mean, I would have to look at like all the brands that they have,
Yeah,
and see what they've been doing lately to grow them and that kind of thing.
yeah, that's my thing too. I'm a little hesitant, especially with my like growth shift, you could say, over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
You know, I already have Coke. What you know, what am I not getting in Coke than Hershey?
But yeah, I mean, I will say like, hey, a 30% drop in a month is a good time to start questioning if maybe it fell too much and it's undervalued now.
I do want to provide an update to you all based on the value and portfolio, growth and value portfolios. So we're going to start off with the growth portfolio, and this is since December the 9th, so we're about a month and a half pretty much into it here. November 9th, pretty much a month and a half into it. Growth portfolio is currently sitting at $10,774. Obviously, the rules, just $10K invested, and just let the money sit for a long time, and we'll just track it. So the growth portfolio, and does anybody want to take a guess here of whether the value or growth portfolio is higher before I reveal?
I have a guess.
Oh, I think we know what it is. All right, we got a drum roll, please. Joy to the world. Okay. That's, you see that? That's a 12.85% return.
From value?
I think that's
unbelievable.
That's like a year's. That's JC returns right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. My returns have been really good lately. But
Hershey's ironically the only company that's down, and I would argue that Hershey's like the one that I'd be closest to owning my portfolio besides Vichy, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I would have. I mean, honestly, a month, 2 months ago, I don't know exactly what day you started these. I know it was a bit ago. I wouldn't have considered Hershey to be value at that point. So
yeah.
I
think you said 150 for Hershey.
Gosh, I think last time we talked about it, that was kind of where I was. That's kind of the ballpark, yeah. After the most preliminary of looks, by the way, that's not a hard line that I'm specifically like it hits a 150. I'm buying it.
Dividend dude, you might have to be in the quote of the year for one of these. I would argue Vichy, Hershey, and Realty Income aren't really value stocks.
I think they were hitting. I mean, Realty Income was
Realty Income for sure. That's
definitely hitting value territory.
Hershey, you can make the debate.
Yeah,
I added it mainly just because it was on a significant decline, and at the time that I bought it, it was pretty much down 30% from all-time highs. Yeah. Figured.
And the way you know that Realty Income was getting into value territory, a month or two ago, is I was really considering getting it. So, and you know me, I use the falling knife cigar butt method. So
it's working. But I'm blown away. Honestly, these are obviously a lot of it's luck. It's a month return.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's
28 target. Like I literally timed it.
Yeah, and
which honestly, I did predict. Mastermind, by the way.
I mean, a lot of it is, I think, a lot of the stocks that were beaten up not too long ago, they happened to be a lot of stocks that either the company has debt, and so people are worried about refinancing and the interest rates, or they're dividend stocks, and people feel like their money is safer in bonds. And when the Fed starts talking, oh, we're going to lower interest rates, they're like, oh, well, that means bonds aren't going to be maybe as great, and we can get back into these stocks that fell that now have high yields, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who invest like just for, to get like a consistent yield, they'll move back out of bonds and back into stocks if they think that interest rates are going to go lower. So
yeah, I think Target. I'm actually blown away. It's funny. I have better gains in this portfolio than I do in my own with some of these holdings. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, they'd be even better if you had gotten MPW back when it was like $4 or whatever.
No. Oh, do you want to cover that before we get on to the main event? Because I saw your comment.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So MPW, it's a hot topic on the channel.
Always a hot
for
topic.
some people that like it, and some people that don't. I'm more of, nothing wrong with it, but I'm more on the left side of, I'm steering away from it.
It's okay if it's not for you, right? I say that every time I cover it, but
it's garbage. It's underperformance.
It's some people say, but hey, hear me out though. My Oatly guy, the guy that's like,
yeah. Oh, I got some hate comments to talk about too later on. Trust me.
So even he is now like thanking me because he got into MPW when it was like in the mid fours, like 450, 460. And he's suddenly up a lot because it happened to go up this week. And he's like, wow, this is great. It's like, bro.
I think everything's up this week.
I know. It's funny. But yeah, obviously, the fact that it went up short term doesn't really mean much. I'm still super red because I've been getting in all year and everything like that. But,
Oatly, my Goatly.
Yeah. And Oatly, yeah. And honestly, like, I don't know what MPW and Oatly even have in common. I think one is clearly better financially than the other and generates more value for shareholders, and it's not Oatly. Yeah. But that's just me.
Did you know that Apple has because my AirPods, like, it's one of them, like the transparency mode won't work. So apparently they have like a free thing if we go in the Apple store and get them fixed for free. No warranty needed.
Yeah.
All my stuff's been breaking recently, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, go buy the merch. I could fix my Apple AirPods. My 28 cents in merch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think the time has come. It's the main event of the evening. 5 rounds, 5 minutes, whatever you want to call it. I would like to introduce Citizen of the Year, Uncle Cody Moneybags, or Tesla's daddy, whatever you want to call him. Cody, welcome on.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
What a treat. Yep. Absolutely.
You're coming through just fine, buddy.
All right. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm plummeted right now in happiness. But everybody get your comments in and your questions for Cody if you have any right now. But I think we'll start off with the obvious one here. What kind of got you into investing, and like when did you start, for people who aren't familiar with your game?
Yeah, so I graduated college coming on 6 years now.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I graduated when I was 21. It's about 6 years now. So I started investing, or started working full time, started 2018. And, my company, even though I went to school for accounting, you'd think that you'd learn about like investing or, personal finance and, those expensive accounting classes. They never really taught us anything like that. Right. So, when I started my first job, they had this like 401k thing. And, that kind of got me interested in investing because everybody always just tells you, just do like the up until the max, and people don't look into it any further. Right. But I was like, if I'm going to be giving up, a portion of my paycheck, I need to know what it goes into. Like, people were just blindly putting it into whatever. So I remember I got home from work, started, finance YouTube was much different 6 years ago. You had the Ryan Scribners. I think Jeremy from Financial Education was just starting out, but this is when he actually taught like educational content. It wasn't like
yeah. If you were looking for education about finance in college, you could have just signed up for one of his courses. You could have bought a few of them with your tuition money.
You ever watch Graham Stephan?
Yeah, he was. I think at the time he may have had like less than 100K subs. This is how early it was, and then he was promoting real estate back then, right? And he was kind of that inspiration for me because at the time he had a video called How I Became a Millionaire at 26, right? So that's kind of how I learned a lot about like, all the tax benefits of being an investor, whether that's real estate or stocks. So I just kept watching content like that. My favorite, YouTuber back then. His name is Dr. Dividend. He doesn't really make videos anymore, but he was like the first large scale portfolio that I've seen that's just dripping dividends, right? Like he had like a $500,000 portfolio, and probably like 50% of his portfolio was in Ford, which at the time paid like a 7% yield. So this guy was collecting like a couple $1,000s every quarter that Ford paid out a dividend. So, at first I started just buying, the high yielders like AT&T, Ford. And then I kind of learned about dividend growth investing. And that's kind of the strategy that I practice now, right? I'm still relatively young. I try to buy more like low yield, high growth companies. Stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got started.
Real man's investing. That's what we call it here on the channel. Real man's investing. All right. So we have a first question. And this is going to get the topic of the video, and this is going to get a lot of views. Is he a TSLY investor? And Cody, would you like to share your thoughts on TSLY in the first place? Clarify that question. And yeah.
Yes, I think you mentioned that I'm a finance YouTuber myself, right? So I started my channel in 2019. Make mostly dividend investing content. So I was making income ETF videos for the longest time, right? I remember like QYLD was kind of that first one that gained a lot of traction, and there was the New C days and the JEPIs. And I think this past year, that's when YieldMax really took off. 2023 start of it. I'm not gonna lie. The synthetic covered calls was something that I never heard of prior to YieldMax. But Ryan, just from investing, if something is offering a 60% yield,
70
right,
now.
When the standard S&P 500 return historically is around 7 to 10%. There has to be some sort of risk, right? There's no such thing as free money. This would be national news. Like this would be on CNBC all day, every day. If this was, if you could legitimately get a 60, 70% return every year. I guess to answer the question, I view these more still as speculation than anything. I mean, we can already see that TSLY's share price has eroded a good amount. It's coming on 13 months now, right? It's lost like 50% of its value. I mean, it might pay out a solid dividend, but the more that NAV erodes, the less a dividend's going to be. We're already seeing that in its dividend history, seeing the share price goes down, the expense ratio, 99 basis points for an actively managed ETF. And then of course the taxes, people don't talk about stuff. Right. People don't talk about these things, right? They just see the yield. They think it's guaranteed. They don't understand how exactly it's able to generate these high yields. And then, I make these videos, right? I try to give a balanced reve right? Some people, they just make, hey, here's all the good things about this ETF.
There's me.
I've been getting a lot of hate comments lately. It's always pretty funny, reading Reddit, reading my comments. It gets some interesting people out there.
Yeah. I believe you had a video too that we were going to pull up and read through the comments if you'd like to. It was which one was it?
I think it's the shocking truth about QQY.
All right, we'll pull that up. It's just I want to talk about a strategy, and I think I told both of you about this, but I don't know if the viewers know. So I made a TSLY video a while ago, and this is a secret to hack the algorithm. If you guys make a controversial video with a target group of very sensitive people, that let's just say people that are in the YieldMax community, you want to spread that throughout them. If you're trying to get views, which prime no shame here, that was my prime goal of the video. Get people mad, get people talking, get some views in the process. So I put it on I went on an alternate account on my YouTube and I disliked the video, and I took a screenshot and I just made a complete ramble post about how this young, arrogant little punk was disrespecting YieldMax shareholders. And I put it on the Reddit, and it just blew the video up. So that's a strategy if anybody wants to get some free views there.
I have a question about that. Did your analytics actually bear out that you got a lot of traffic coming from external on Reddit?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that sometime on Discord.
I'll send it. All right, we'll get into the comments here because this will be just good fun. Do we have any from first glance, Cody, do you have any that you'd like to kind of go over? Or, I know I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, but any that you'd like to go over and address?
Let's see here. Oh, okay. Let's start with that first one there. It says Brian QQY. I'm sorry. If you go back down a little bit, it's about not being managed by Jay. So I think his name is Brian. Yeah, right there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So this is
even like the hate comments. This is wild.
Yeah, right. So this is just an example of people not reading the prospectus, right? Because if you read the prospectus, it clearly states that the same fund manager oversees both the Defiance ones and the YieldMax ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, it's just small things like that.
Yeah, I have some ones that we'll go over on my channel too. That was just little mind bog. I actually have a contest for the world's stupidest comment of the year. We have a few candidates on my Discord. I'm actually happy. There are a lot of people that are aware of how dumb these funds are, and I actually will like get behind you. It's more people that do that. I think I found that do the hate comments, but of course they're gonna come.
So Ryan, the new catchphrase that people keep saying is, "Oh, just reinvest the dividends, bro. Just reinvest the dividends."
With dividends reinvested, it's 60% year to date.
And I just don't understand that at all, right? Because if you're trying to live off your dividends, don't you need to tap into that, right? You need to extract the dividends at some point. And then you kind of have to think about it from YieldMax's point of view, right? So they get paid, right, when you put your money into these. That's how they get those management fees. So if you're constantly just reinvesting those dividends, yeah, sure, that's going to prop up the NAV, but that's also more money for them to rake in. And I think people just aren't seeing that.
Yeah. All right, we'll look for more good hate comments. Have you what's the most harsh thing you think you've said about the videos? I know you said you try to be fair, but what do you think the most harsh thing that you said regarding the YieldMax funds would be?
Let's see. I think them just getting kind of destroyed.
Oh, here we go. Wait.
Events.
Oh no, this guy's on your side. Yeah. Oh, I sleep just fine. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. If you're putting your hard-earned money into these funds and sleeping fine, because the thing is, these people, they're not doing it as a speculative investment, right? Maybe less than 5% of their portfolio. Some of these people are putting their entire life savings into these funds, and
the mortgage
be in for a hard time.
No, it's actually wild,
bro. That's crazy. That's absolutely bananas. These things, clearly, they haven't been around all that long. So even if there is some kind of consistent rate of return, it hasn't been established yet. And oh my goodness, anything that it's like you said, anything that's got to yield that high, there's got to be a trade-off somewhere. Yes. There's no free lunch. Yeah.
So one thing that people continuously get mad over is that I try to point out the Warren Buffett example, right? If this is such a great investment, why isn't Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, why aren't they dumping what they're what are they, $700 billion market cap company? Why aren't they putting their entire portfolio into YieldMax? And then people have the audacity to say that Warren Buffett is a terrible investor, that he's too old, that you can't learn anything from him. And I'm like,
it's funny. People have been saying Warren Buffett's too old for 30 years.
I think 30 is pretty generous.
Yeah, even longer, actually.
Yeah. All right, Cody, I hate to brag here, but I think my comments put yours to shame. It makes all the people in your comment section look like a bunch of choir boys from what I'm about to show. So this one's actually been consistently taken off, which is kind of nice. And there's some valid comments here. I wouldn't put my whole portfolio in a TSLY, but a small percentage. And that's what I think it should be used for, right? Kind of with the other premium, put maybe under 5% of the portfolio in it if you have nothing to do with it, and just let it grow for the meantime. And I've said that on the channel multiple times that, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what it's ideally meant for. But the people who are using it to pay for their mortgages, you have rocks for brains. Sorry. Yeah. But we have some good ones, and we'll have to scroll down here. It's the most comment you actually got it. Instructions not clear. Entire portfolio dumped into YieldMax. That was definitely a popular comment. We're gonna have to scroll down here because we definitely have some candidates for the most stupid. Oh, here we go. I don't agree, but that's fine. Stop referring to YieldMax investors as dummies, and I won't refer to you as a timid investor who has very low risk tolerance. Hot flash. Investing involves risk. You sound like a good candidate for CDs.
Oh, yes. You know what other comment I get a lot, Ryan, is I make those monthly dividend update videos, right? I have about $165,000 portfolio. I get paid about $3,000 in dividends. So that yield isn't very high, right? So people will think it's an insult to write in my comments like, oh, keep enjoying SCHD and it's 3% yield. Well, I'm enjoying YieldMax and my 60% yield.
Yeah. I find it wild too that like if you literally compare the S&P 500, which is what most Americans who have no idea about investing put their money into, they're still outperforming the YieldMax investors, which it's absolutely wild.
It's crazy.
We have some more good ones too. Paid for bashing YieldMax. Technically, I made like $50 off this video, so I'm not complaining either. I'm comparing apples to oranges. TSLY is a dividend oriented, not as a growth stock. I just said underperformance.
The truth.
I love when people comment, try to like say stupid stuff to you on your videos, and I won't cuss here, but people just comment stupid things, and when you actually like try to respond, they'll just ignore it. I don't think anything gets me more pissed off than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even somebody could attack my character. I don't care, but like if you're not going to respond to an argument or whatever, that kind of gets me. Yeah. We have this guy insulting investors and Redditors at the start and then begging for money. LOL. That was pretty good. Oh, this is good too. I don't know, man, but I got paid over 6 months.
All right, man. It has a 6-month history of paying dividends. That means you got to put your whole life savings in it.
Yeah. I mean, 6 months is practically forever. It could never go away.
Let me guess. You recommend SCHD.
Yeah, as if that's some sort of insult, right?
Yeah. Never say never. Here we go. YieldMax is for maximum yield. The analysis is uncorrelated, but we can all have opinions. Good luck buying non-productive assets and retiring at 60.
They're going to have a very short retirement if they're planning on retiring with just YieldMax funds.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you might have to go back and work at Walmart.
They're going to die on the Walmart floor. Oh, my gosh.
You get a physical threat here. If a voice was punchable, yours would be it.
Oh, yeah, that was another good one. Clueless. I'll give you a like just for your desperation. I also asked him to subscribe. He shared some inappropriate information that I probably shouldn't share about him using the restroom. His voice should be punchables. Yours would be it. However, you make good points. All in TSLY. Wow. And then the man Ari Gutman commented. And whenever Ari Gutman comments on a video, you know it's a good one. It's performed well. Please talk slowly. You're rushing through this. Tell him to slow the video down. Your total returns chart doesn't include dividends. I think this is new candidate for dumbest comment of the year.
I don't know, man. I don't think they understand where dividends are coming from. I don't think they realize that, when a dividend is declared, the stock price goes down by the amount of the dividend, right? So,
yeah. Yep. It comes out of the bank account. It comes off the balance sheet. The value adjusts.
Exactly. You haven't made a video on TSLY yet, have you? You haven't.
No. I'm the only one that hasn't gotten on that gravy train yet. But now that I heard you made $50 from the video, I feel like I've got to sell out and make a TSLY video.
You just got to slander it, and then maybe if you wear a tank top, somebody will make fun of you for wearing a tank.
Well, I mean, I already get plenty of those.
Those.
I dress like a bum. Do I own any real shirts? But they don't make any physical threats against me. I wonder why.
Yeah. Oh, underperformance is Yeah, that is something you'd say, Danny. Not to defend YieldMax, but you say that apples to apples under the time, then comment underperformance seems inconsistent. All right, Danny. All right.
Settle down.
Settle down, Danny. Settle down. So, Cody, I want to talk to you about YouTube.
Yeah.
You're at 10K, so you're in kind of the weird bridge. You're not at the point where you're living off of it yet, as you've mentioned in your channel. How close would you be on like a scale of 1 to 10 to actually like quitting your job and going full time? I know it's probably far away, but on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh man, I'll say it's probably still at like a 2.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think the algorithm is just so unpredictable, right?
I'm learning that way too hard.
And sometimes even when you have a video that has, like, a good title, good topic, the click-through rate is really high. For some reason, the algorithm will just stop promoting it. Like my last SCHD video had a click-through rate of like 10%.
Oh no.
And then it just stopped promoting it after a while. It's
yeah, I get that too, where like I'll have like a really great click-through rate and it only gives me like 2,000 impressions, but like I'll have one with like a 3% click-through rate and it'll give me like 10,000 impressions. It's like, no, you're doing it wrong, algorithm.
That's criminal. I hate when like you really put time into a video and it just gets absolutely pounded by, and not in a good way.
I've also had it where, like, the flip side where, I kind of put a video together kind of quickly and then that ends up doing really well. So I
know what you mean.
My first MPW video took me like 7 minutes to make, like not even an exaggeration, including the thumbnail. And it's still one of like my top 3 or 4 videos.
I hate to move away from the topic, but we'll get back to it real quick. This guy brings up Finvez is down, TSLY's down 18.84, dividend is 76.82. No, the net return is not that, not 58% year to date, unfortunately. According to Seeking Alpha here, the TSLY 1-year return is 18.2%. So sorry to bring you off your high. My bad. All right, back to YouTube.
Yeah.
So have you been in a bit of a slump recently when it comes to like, I hit a bit of a peak in September, October, and then it's been like I've been getting absolutely ran through more than a sorority girl at California. It's not good.
Yeah, let me look at my analytics. They're definitely down, but it could just be I haven't made as many videos, or like algorithm just isn't catching fire like it used
tough.
to.
Like it's more about, I've learned it's just about controlling the controllables at the end of the day. It's a lot of it's out of the control.
I mean, I've noticed, I mean, honestly, I've noticed like if you account for the relative sizes of the channels and stuff, the big channels are suffering worse than we are, to be honest.
That's true. Like, Heavens, they have 1 million subscribers, but they're struggling to get even like 20,000 views. Some videos. Like,
I mean, at least, those of us with, one in the 1 to 10,000 range, at least it seems like we can count on like 15 to 20% of our subscribers watching most of our videos, with the occasional one kind of taking off a bit. Like if we get, a couple thousand views on a video, I think they would kill to have that percentage of their audience engage with a video at this point.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that one video just to completely just catapult growth. I haven't had that one. Like the biggest one's been the TSLY one, which is, I'm not complaining about. But Cody, I'm gonna look on your. What's your highest view? Oh, you got 60K on one.
Yeah, the fidelity.
Yeah, that's solid. I'm just waiting for one to like. It's not even. It doesn't even need to be like 1 million. Give me 25K. Susan, I know you're not working still, but 25K. I'm pray.
I'd be happy to break 10K for the first time.
I haven't either.
I've gotten close. I've gotten to like 7 point something thousand, I think.
Have you guys noticed? How often you guys make videos without mid rolls?
About what?
Videos without mid rolls under the 8-minute mark.
Oh yeah, I mean, lately a lot of my content has been shorter. The algorithm is also kind of weird because if the video is shorter, it'll still say comments like, "Oh, people aren't watching as long," and then it won't recommend it. But I feel like that makes no sense because obviously, if the video is shorter, people aren't gonna.
Right. I think it says that on our dashboard, but it doesn't necessarily push it less because because the percentage of retention is still high. I think it still will promote it as long as people are still watching. But speaking of percentage of retention, what are you guys getting? 30, 40, 50 higher percent average retention.
I've never looked at my retention. I will say this, and thank you to everybody who subscribed to the Cash Flow Kings channel, because we hit 60 subscribers. Not to brag, I hate to put anybody down here on the channel. I'm sorry, Cody. You know, we're getting a little big, so I hate to brag up here and make anybody's egos feel hurt.
We don't want anybody coming on here to clout chase or anything.
No, we would no. Yeah, we don't want people using our platform for views, but where in retention? I gotta look at this now. Is that under audience?
I think it is. Yeah.
2.3K viewers. I can't get a percent on that. It probably doesn't help that the channels my audience watches are Joseph Carlson and Joseph Carlson After Hours for the first 2 channels. That's probably not good.
I'd say my videos are generally around that 40 to 50% mark, which is pretty solid.
Yeah, I think the majority of mine, it's like right in the 40-something% range. Usually, like there with the occasional outlier that gets like 50-60%, which is of course awesome when that happens. But yeah, just curious because like obviously, you know, if people are clicking away in the first like 45 or 1 minute, it's not a great sign.
Coney is up 27% and the dividend is 18. Jesus goodness gracious. I've been getting Coney video. Does anybody know what Coney is? Because I've gotten like 5 comments about it on the SHD video, and I
Coney, they have done well, but that's because Coinbase stock is up like 300%. So obviously the Coney ETF is going to lag that, but
is Coney YieldMax?
Yeah, it's based.
I gotta make another one now.
It's based off Coinbase stock, which is done insane. Coinbase is up 340% this year.
It's not investing; it's gambling. You're literally betting if the stock is going to have volatility or not. Like, it's no investment. I can go to blackjack and get a 10% return.
All right, but here's the most fascinating part about Coinbase. It still doesn't make any money. It has no PE ratio because it has negative earnings.
We've talked about companies that don't make money on the channel here a lot. Companies who aren't profitable yet, but yeah. Coney 2012.
Yeah, no, that's oh my gosh, Steve, I was just thinking the same thing. So I was thinking like if I made a Coney video, the thumbnail would definitely be like a rip of the Coney 2012 thing. Coney 2023.
2023, yeah.
Yeah. I would have a great time with that thumbnail.
Fiscal, the UFC's on right now. Big event today. TKO. Yeah. I'm telling you, as every day goes by, TKO is getting even more appealing.
Yeah, that you know how much I think Vince McMahon and Dana White are like 2 business powerhouses in their respective areas.
They're bosses. They're alpha males, as some would say.
They are. They're Amogan.
Yeah, Coney. We're not Coney fans here on the channel. Sorry, Dantown.
So
yeah, no.
It's quickly becoming a bubble here, right? I don't think anyone's going to deny that Coinbase is getting extremely overvalued here, right? But
yeah,
the stock is eventually going to collapse kind of big, and then Coney is going to get all that exposure to the downfall, but it's only going to have some exposure because of the covered calls to any time it goes back up. And I think that's the part that people are missing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Coinbase, what do you think of crypto, like in general? I think that's a good segue.
Yeah, I literally just put out a video on that this afternoon. I'll say this.
Well, I think self-promotion.
Yeah,
using the platform for good use.
I think that crypto at this point, it's still a speculative asset, but I think it could be useful to the world, right? Like, I'm assuming you all live in the United States, but there are, countries where the government is very unstable. They will literally rob their citizens. Like, having a decentralized currency is not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Just, look at what's going on. I forget the Middle East country where like the government basically just stole money out of people's bank accounts.
Yep.
So there is a use for crypto.
Sure. And actually one company I am invested in, PayPal, actually has their own stable coin that's earmarked to the value of the US dollar. And the idea behind it is that they think it could be useful in driving down transaction costs on their end. If people, transfer money using that coin and then later like redeem them for dollars, basically.
Crypto is useful for crimes and scams.
Well, that also is true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get. I mean, I'm not going to say what you can get because I don't want us to get preemptively community guidelines striked. But
goodness gracious,
you can get all kinds of good stuff with crypto.
You could buy the due dividend stocks, not drugs merchandise. The link in description.
So another thing about crypto, right? Like when it was kind of founded by either a person or a group, Satoshi, his goal was to have people actually buy things with crypto. If you fast forward to today, that is not the use that people have with crypto, right? People buy it.
Except for, black market or gray market stuff. People do people do use it for buying stuff there because banks won't get involved in that kind of thing. But for the most part, people are just buying it as an investment when it was meant to be used as a currency instead.
Right. Because nobody goes to the store and buys groceries with Bitcoin, right? It's just not the means of exchange yet. And from what I've also heard, actually doing transactions with crypto is actually a pretty slow process compared to like Visa or MasterCard where you just swipe and it goes through. So,
that's one of the big drawbacks. What was that country? Was it Ecuador or something? El Salvador.
El Salvador,
yeah. I heard that was one of the issues they were having actually implementing it being one of their like accepted currencies is it was the transactions were like too slow. That's one of the problems they were having. Yeah.
PayPal's looking a lot more good.
But yeah, definitely. Like I think a lot of people end up disagreeing with me whenever I make either a video or like a comment or anything about crypto being kind of like, I don't really think of it. I don't think it's really an investment. I think it's just like a speculative asset that you can just kind of, you buy it basically based on the greater fool theory, hoping that somebody else will buy it for higher later, but not based on any kind of intrinsic fundamental metric.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And we're just talking about Bitcoin, right? We didn't even touch base on all the cryptos that these celebrities were promoting. That honestly, some of these people should be in jail. Like you got Kim Kardashian, Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
They all promoted this nonsense.
Yeah. It is criminal. And
honestly, that's like, on the SEC, the government for not cracking down harder on this.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild how it makes me, I wouldn't say looser, but it makes me not as scared as night that people are going to come after me and accuse me of pumping Target stock in court someday.
And you also pump Starbucks.
I do, in fact. Oh, you saw that the guy in your Discord, I made him leave
twice
because I was pumping Starbucks.
You've done it twice now.
I was accused this week of pumping stocks, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I was accused again of pumping stocks.
Is it a super large, like mega cap company that you're going to influence with less than 10K subs on YouTube?
Give me a minute.
Yeah, look, the 300 people that watched the video, they're all going to buy it and they're going to make that moon, baby.
Here we go. Don't follow these amateurs. Bunch of fake stock investors. They don't know the macros, just looking for views and pumping off stocks. And
bro, you're gonna look at these guns and tell me I don't know anything about macros?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good line. I call them slower than a sloth off vodka, and I was a video based on me sharing Waste Management Realty Income's dividend hike and saying that I'd like for him to drop a little more if I were to buy him. So
yeah,
my bad.
Way to pump Waste Management and Realty Income, bro.
And I have been accused of pumping Target and Starbucks before.
Unbelievable,
man. I'm sure you've had
I'm sorry.
An influence on that stock price.
I know. I won't lie. I've been looking 3 ways when I'm crossing the road now. I'm a little worried for my well-being.
So, and you're also a paid basher, I hear.
Indeed. I won't even lie. I've been getting more consistent hate comments now than I ever have.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I'm not complaining about it, but it's just wild.
I've had the paid basher one as well because of Oatly. Yeah. I'm a paid basher that needs to get a real shirt.
Stop pumping Target. So weird. All right, Cody. Before you head out of here, I have a fun game for us. We've been ending our lives with a little fun, holiday themed ranking game we usually do. But I think since you're on here, I think it would be a fun time. We're going to be ranking finance YouTube channels, and this will be a good one. So we have S tier,
you got all of them here.
A tier, B tier. Yeah, we don't have to do all of them because I'm sure we won't know some of them. B tier, C or D tier, and then sits when they piss, which is F tier or below, which is directed at some people on this list. All right. Is there anybody, either of you two, that you see on there and already have an instant recommendation for a vote? And I'll let the viewers vote on it too. That's the one thing.
Do I see Sven on there?
Yep, that is Sven. Good man.
Honestly, if I think if anyone deserves a high rating, it's probably him.
He's a good fella. He doesn't make the most entertaining videos, but it's very valuable.
I feel like valuable. I learned something when I watch his channel. So
absolutely, I vote A tier.
Yeah, me too.
Cody, you have a vote?
Yeah, I know that professor that you have on the top row. He's actually very intelligent. I forget what his actual name is, but if you actually watch his channel, he has lectures. He's an actual PhD in valuation. He's actually giving out great content.
Which one?
If on the top row, the guy in the purple shirt.
Purple shirt, this guy?
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is. I'll be honest, I have no idea.
Man, we got to figure out this man's name.
So you're voting A tier for him?
I put him in S tier.
Whoa.
Let me find him.
S tier isn't something you play around with, Cody. I'll be honest. We'll have to get some.
Sven is a PhD as well.
Oh.
I mean, what's he got on our boy Sven?
Yeah, that's a. We'll get any viewer votes in here before we'll give the viewers 10 seconds to vote, and then we'll move on. Bidding at S tier.
Okay, his name is Aswath Damadaran. Probably butchered that, but
it's okay. I've made videos on the Starbucks CEO before. I've had to try to pronounce his name. We'll go.
I mean, honestly, he can go into S tier if you want. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, he seems like a good look.
He's so smart. We haven't even heard of him, which means he's probably actually just focused on information.
Right. That's a great point.
I'm surprised Cody, that lady isn't on here. I mean, the Valkyrie or whatever lady.
Oh, Victoria. Yeah.
Who? I'm not gonna say that. I'll get canceled. But if you're on Cody's Discord, you know some of my thoughts. We have some good conversation on there.
I see Tom Nash there next to Everything Money. Isn't that who that is?
Tom Nash.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm not a Tom Nash guy. I don't know.
No. Gosh,
I mean, low.
Probably C or D tier.
Yeah, he used to make actual good content, kind of similar to CoffeeZilla and Spencer Cornelia.
Yeah.
Then he started promoting hype stocks and his channel.
Yeah. 50% of his channel is just talking about how great Palantir is and stroking Alex Karp.
Never understood that obsession with Palantir.
But Palantir, they just. In fact, he used to he used to criticize another channel that he was right next to there, Everything Money, for not understanding Palantir and how great Palantir is. Do we want to rate Everything Money?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna put them pretty low. I really don't like that channel.
Oh, we've had a lot of Everything Money I think a few years ago they would have been B tier for me. I think they're moving into the C or D tier.
So does anybody else think that they were better when they had Seth?
Yeah, because it was more.
They're kind of nostalgic for me, so I would vote B tier for them.
I'll say this: I think all their videos, they're really advertisement for their whatever.
Yeah, it's an infomercial for their software for sure.
Right.
We all know that Dividend Data is the premier investing software, and if you use my link, I get half of the sales. So go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, they're still certainly better than Jeremy, in my opinion.
I'm voting C or D tier.
All right.
I think there's different levels. There's a fine line between absolute scum and them. At least they have good intentions. They promote target stocks. So
do I see Manish on there?
Where is he?
Blue shirt, second row.
There he is. I have never watched him, so I'm gonna let you guys do the
I've never watched his channel. I've seen interviews and stuff with him. He's a pretty smart guy, but I don't think his advice necessarily applies to the average investor all that much. Like he invests the way a guy with his amount of wealth you would think would invest. I don't know. I'd say probably B tier for me.
Cody, do you have a vote?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Fiscal. I'm not really super familiar. He probably has a huge net worth, and
yeah. Like he was like 60% in Micron or something, and it's like man, like the average person can't be 60% in one company. I mean they can, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Dave Ramsey, CD tier.
8% withdrawal rate. Good stock mutual funds from a Smart Vestor Pro.
If you do the Ave Maria mutual funds, you will get not only Christ's love, but you also will get a market beat in return.
Guys, you're just managing God's money.
So Dave Ramsey, he's like really bare bones beginner, right? Like that's why he recommends no credit cards, even though people that are a little bit more experienced know that you probably should have one.
Yeah, C or D tier. That's my vote.
Yeah, I mean his actual investing advice is very bad and dangerous. He recommends an 8% withdrawal rate in retirement for people that and it's like if you catch like a good chunk of a lost decade early on in retirement and you have an 8% withdrawal rate, you could be dying on the Walmart floor, as Caleb Hammer likes to say. Which is he on here at all, by the way? Probably not. He's not really an investing YouTuber.
No.
Okay.
All right. I think we go with are we done with the top row? Do you guys see anybody besides anybody on the top row?
I mean that's CoffeeZilla, that's New Money, the Australian, Plain Bagel.
Where we want to put CoffeeZilla. I don't watch him like a whole lot.
He catches scammers. He's
not really A tier then. A tier.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he's good, but like he doesn't really talk about investing that much, from what I understand.
Yeah, this is right. I'm not really like I don't watch general finance content, so a lot of this is like out of my out of the game for a bit.
Oh, I see Stockmo on the second row. With
I saw that one. We were gonna get to him.
All right.
I think we have to put him in the sits when they pissed here.
I would agree with that.
Is the green shirt strongman?
Yes. Yeah. I'm convinced that Stockmo doesn't take his hat off when he's in bed with his wife. I'm convinced he doesn't, dude. He's just got that he's never took that hat off.
It's funny that Strongman is in this list, right?
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so whoever made this list is obviously based. I mean, I honestly put Strongman in like A or S tier.
Yeah, Strongman is hilarious. I'm literally laughing out loud at his videos, and
some of like his like intros and stuff that he puts together. And his thumbnails. Honestly, like he's the person that made me decide just to go completely bananas with my thumbnails and just be ridiculous. And absolutely, he has a special place in my heart. So I would say S tier and grossly criminally underrated on YouTube.
I'd go, either S or A. And then I agree with Dividend Dude here. Plain Bagel is definitely S tier.
Where's Plain Bagel at? I don't see him.
Top row. That one.
I don't know Plain Bagel. I'll take your words on that.
I've seen a few of his videos and they were good. So I won't argue with that.
He's another Canadian investor who actually works in finance, has like all the certificates and, degrees. He's not just some random dude that's talking out of his, basement with.
Hey, I took that to heart.
Hey, as the hate comments say, I'm a guy in a room.
Yeah. Oh, it's Mark Tilbury. Oh, I think Mark Tilbury's got to go A tier. He's a good old Brit.
Australian guy, right?
Brit.
Oh, okay.
Oi, lad.
Is that Meet Kevin next to Jeremy and Andre?
Oh, he's going and sits when they piss. I hope that guy gets hit by a car, and I mean that too. He deserves it, dude.
He's a piece drinking and driving. I'm sure. If he keeps drinking and driving, allegedly drinking and driving, I'm sure the problem will sort itself out eventually.
That guy's a deadbeat. I'm not. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
You don't want to get me going up. I get uncomfortable listening to him talk. He's got that total politician vibe where like, I get so uncomfortable listening to him.
Yeah, he's a frail, smarmy little cretin.
Yeah, he's little drunk leprechaun. That's what he is.
Yeah.
We'll do Graham Stephan. And I know what you all are thinking right now too. There's one that I want to get going here.
All right, so with regards to Graham Stephan, I mean, for me, like I miss his real estate stuff because I thought that was really cool. Like his credit card reviews, his stuff about frugal living and stuff like that, I think is really great. But I feel like he got on the crypto bandwagon at some point and jumped the shark. So it's either like if we're giving him,
I'm voting B tier.
If we're giving him credit for the old stuff and not penalizing him excessively for where he's gone in the meanwhile, B tier. But if not, like I feel like he dropped since then. So
I think he's still like a level above Kevin, because didn't he stopped talking to Kevin, didn't he?
Yeah, they're not. I don't think
I can get respect. I can get respect for Graham. He at least like has some dignity in him. He's
he gets bonus points for stop talking to me, Kevin. I mean, some of these guys
too, so
they deserve some criticism for, they promoted FTX for like months. We're making $100,000 a month.
Somebody else here promoted FTX, and we'll get to that.
Yeah,
I haven't talked about that. We'll get to it. We'll do Andre. I don't mind Andre.
He's been shilling crypto
for me.
Yeah, put him in it's a D tier for me, buddy.
Yeah, he's not low level scum enough to sit where they piss, but
he's just so unremarkable. Like, come on.
Yeah. There's so many out. Let's go Robert Kiyosaki. That's a good one.
The OG. I put him in the A tier.
I've seen some of his shorts
recently, though.
His shorts are questionable. Like
he's done some questionable things recently. I'll be honest. I think
he's going like the dude sounds out of his mind with some of the stuff that
he does
in shorts.
I'm voting B tier.
Like B tier on a good
day. Poor Dad was good, but like he's got crazy courses now. It's
the royalties didn't pay enough.
All right. Are there any others on here that you guys would like to do before we hop out of here? We're almost at the 1 hour mark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we obviously have to talk about Jeremy.
Oh, of course. Jeremy, I'll say this about Jeremy. He doesn't silence people's voices for, having an opinion.
I mean, then again, like how many times does a guy have to get it wrong before people stop buying his course?
All right. We already know where Jeremy's going. Let's not front it here. Are there any others we see on here that we'd like to talk about?
I mean, I see somebody that maybe
is that the lady with the Karen haircut in the top right?
I mean, he's in the black and white.
Dividend dude's face is painted with Joseph Carlson's taint right now. Oh my goodness.
JC promoted FTX.
JC's a little bitch. That's what I gotta say. He's a little ugh.
That very first one, the check mark, is learn to invest. He's really good too.
Oh, I love Jimmy. Yeah. He's A, if not S tier in my
good fella. Good fella.
I always find it funny. He says his name Jimmy. Hi, I'm Jimmy.
Dude, when he gets going on a stock, like he just goes, man. I love him.
All right. Are there any others on here?
Do you guys watch Daniel Pronk? I believe is his name. That's the third guy there.
I think I've heard the name, but I've never watched.
I'll let you judge this one, Cody.
I'd probably put him in B tier. I always see his ads on YouTube, but he's definitely like pumping up the ads to get views.
I know. That's rough. I don't love people who do that, but I guess if you're treating YouTube as a business, you got to do it. All right. Are there any others on here that we?
CNBC isn't that what Jim
Cramer pretty much?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
What is that black and green logo kind of in the middle of the first row? I swear I've seen that channel before.
I have too. I don't know. I can't tell you what it is though.
I bet I know it too if I heard the name.
Yeah.
That's
Pat. Come on, guys.
That's Stock Auto.
Unrivaled investing.
It's
Staccato. What's his name?
Because it reminds me of
Echoes
Tornado.
mentioned him one time.
Yeah.
He called out Joseph Carlson, so he gets an A from me.
Right.
He.
I mean, you're the guy controlling the buttons, so you can put him wherever the hell you want.
Yeah. Unrivaled Investing is a recommend. I don't know much about them.
Yeah, I don't know either. CNBC, I think, is like CD tier. They never really say anything that's actually useful, I've noticed.
I wouldn't say this one's a one size fits all. Cut.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Scotty Kilmer pumps his view counts up to rush his copycat video. Wow. That's like the meanest thing I've ever heard Steve say about somebody. That's crazy.
Dude, that's
Steve just put his he just sacrificed his nicest person of the year award on the channel. That's bold of Steve, but I can respect that. I think there's one more on here that we have to.
So you've messed up when you incite a quiet, nice man's rage.
Nah, that's and Joseph Carlson. Do we have any?
Look, I think Joey C is a frail little bitch, and I'm just saying, like, name the time, name the place, Joey C. I'll step right into the ring with you, buddy boy.
It's all fun and games until the cops show up at your house in 15 minutes. Dividend due. That's.
I mean, what's so I genuinely don't watch Joseph Carlson's content. Like, what's remarkable about it?
Yeah,
he does a good job summarizing info, and he's kind of doing like what's trending now.
I'll say this about him. If you agree with him on something, he is somebody you want to have on your side.
Right. I think he's somebody he should just buy the triple Qs. He's basically just replicating the triple Qs.
But then he wouldn't be able to say that he's outperforming the market. So
that's what Strongman said in his video about Joseph Carlson, that he's basically just copying the index or shadowing the index, but making it look like he's being really selective about what he's choosing when he's really just choosing large cap tech.
And JC's had some big losses too that I think he just sells before. Like he used to be really big on Peloton. I don't know if he deleted that video, but he definitely lost big on that.
Well, I was told he was the most transparent YouTuber.
Because gyms are going to stay closed forever. Peloton is going to the moon.
We already know where Joseph Carlson's going. He sits when he pisses. I'm sorry.
And he's welcome to prove us wrong.
Yeah, he is.
Well, actually,
but we'd be using him for views, so he wouldn't come on. All right, that's pretty much it. There, we hit the 1 hour mark. Everybody, what a blast having Cody on! What an absolute blast. Cody, do you want to plug anything? You have any more self promotion? Dividend Dude is glazing him in the comment section right now,
or getting glazed by him.
Oh. Cody, plug anything you'd like. I'm you already have your channel link in the description.
Appreciate it, guys. It was a fun time. Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Citizen of the Year. I'm also on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast at the Collect Cash podcast. But yeah, it's been a great hour here.
Oh, what an absolute treat, Cody!
Yeah, it's been
absolute
fun,
blast. Our most popular guest so far.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping, I don't know if I want to say that title. I hope it gets broken or you retain it, but absolute blast. Good luck on your endeavors, your channel. We always talk on the Discord, link in the description. So
are we allowed to say Merry Christmas, or will we get canceled for that?
You can.
We are target investors, so and Starbucks, so you might want to say Happy Holidays.
All right, well, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone. Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year's.
What about Kwanzaa?
Don't forget Kwanzaa.
Boxing Day.
Yeah. All right, thank you all for watching. Always remember, look for the links in the description. Do dividend stocks, not jugs. And always remember,
cash flow is king.
Oh, yeah.